Hello. Oh, hello. Welcome to Nerdrotic. It's the beginning of the end, the long goodbye to the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Warren.
Okay.
Dr. Shit. We could do that too. We just finished watching the Flux of the UK airing, and the BBC iPlayer asked us both if we had a license, and we said maybe, and they let us watch it. So that's really
I'll be honest. I paid for the TV license to watch this.
Look at you.
And I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to take advantage of the TV license loophole.
Which is
you pay for your TV license for the year, and then you cancel it, and you get refunded back what you don't use.
Oh.
So after the 6 episodes are up, I'm going to cancel the TV license and get refunded 11, 12, it's going to be a month and a half. Pretty much the majority of my TV license back.
Excellent.
So that's how you deal with that.
Good man. I was dishonest. I'll have to deal with that with my maker when the time comes. Probably with the worst of my
I want to work within the system because I want the system to be used and abused the way it should be. And the BBC should be used and abused as a streaming service right now. So if this was on Netflix, I'd pay for a month and a half of, 2 months of Netflix, whatever, to be able to watch the 6 episodes. And I'm going to do exactly the same and use the BBC as a streaming service for this.
Excellent. And hey, thankfully, there's only 5 episodes to go and then some special.
Hello. Did the Flux get him? I think the Flux got him. Hi. Fly me to the moon and let me sit upon your face. It looks like the sonic screwdriver was initiated and Gary was booted. Yeah.
You can hear me now. Yeah. I think it's my freaking USB.
Oh, okay. There he is. Even though you've muted your microphone. Oh, yeah, you might want to...
This great computer I have that I spent so much money on, and the USB ports are farting out now. So, hey, let's see. But we're good now. We good now.
USB dock. Just get a dock.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, but it shouldn't be happening for how much I paid for this computer. This shit shouldn't be happening. But as I was saying, we have 5 episodes to go and then some specials. And then RTD comes back to do what? We're not sure yet, but we are going to be talking about this episode. There will be spoilers. We'll warn you when we get there. I guess we can start out with our overall.
Well, the whole thing's going to be a spoiler. Let's just be honest.
Well, I mean, how do you spoil something that were a bunch of random things happened that were somewhat... No, they weren't even connected at all in any way, shape, or form, just to have things happen to create tension.
Well, they are going to mean something. This is the annoyance of the episode. The annoyance of the episode is it's unbelievably messy because they're setting up all these things which are going to be explained later down the line. But the annoyance is they're happening out of chronological order and potentially on different fucking planets. And so it just looks like a bunch of messy scenes for the sake of, Chibnall trying to think he's clever. These are all going to pay off. We're going to find out who Claire is in episode 3. And then we're going to find out about Sontaran's next episode. And then the whole thing about in Liverpool in 1820. We're going to discover what that's about in episode 4. And it's, if you were just like, hey, I'm going to watch the new episode of Doctor Who. I haven't seen this for a while. And then tuned into tonight's episode, you'd be like, what? What was that?
after the Timeless Children, right?
Oy.
So you rewrite the entire history of the show and destroy it fundamentally. So yeah, I kind of get a feeling where the Timeless Children was the last Jedi of Doctor Who. This will be the Rise of Skywalker of Doctor Who, and it's starting just like it. I mean, this thing it's Mystery Box. That's what this is. This is a giant British mystery box. And there are no answers from this. We were just introduced to some characters briefly. There's no way we could know everybody's name. I tried to write it down as much as I cared.
I didn't care to do that.
Yeah. And
the only person that I actually thought was decent was Claire, the one who had the weeping angel after her.
Yep.
And that's because she just came across as a decent actress.
Yeah, she felt like a Doctor Who character.
Yeah, she felt she felt like a doctor. She recognized the Doctor. She felt like a Doctor Who character. She's clearly had something to do with them, which will no doubt just be related to this plot line. And there was this kind of sense of sadness or sorrow about her. But of course, it's all like currently non-interconnected mess.
Yep. Well, yes, there's weeping angels, there's Sontarans in this episode. There's dogs.
With really bad jokes.
Yeah, there's bad jokes. Dan is a plank of wood. Basically, the new
no, he's Dan is a
he's
Mr. Perfecto.
No, well, he's a nice guy, but he's got no direction in life. He's a male in the Doctor Who universe these days. So that's pretty much it. And he's got some skills that he's deciding not to use. He would rather waste his time pretending to be a guide at the Liverpool Museum, which was one quick scene.
Yeah. Did you like the way that Discount Killmonger could outrun the Flux and the TARDIS couldn't?
Yeah, in his little escape pod.
In his little sentry watching tower escape pod.
Called Outpost Rose, by the way.
Out Rose,
yeah. So I think there were rumors of her showing up. We'll see.
Didn't she say never again?
Yeah, I just hope she doesn't. So we started out as it started out with the Doctor and Yaz hanging upside down, and as with all things Chibnall, there was an arbitrary countdown clock. Like right off the bat, I just started laughing at this. I'm like, he didn't waste any time to bring in. By the way, that's a Chibnall trope. If you're not aware, go back and watch all the Chibnall episodes. There is an arbitrary countdown clock involved to create tension where it's not really there. And then the Doctor automatically says, oh, I can't even remember what she said. She said trillium 7 or something like that. And I remember that. We do this and we fix it right at the last minute. And you pointed out they were hanging upside down. There was clearly gravity. And then they did what? They were able to.
The device was like a bar. Yep. And their feet were locked in and they were dangling down. And the evil person was saying, when the timer runs out, the ticking clock, when the ticking clock runs out, the feet pads will be released and you will fall into the sea of acid, which will kill you instantly. But if it doesn't kill you instantly, then I've brought along this group of robotic death robots, and they will shoot you to death. And if that doesn't work, then this planet's going to be destroyed anyway by an event horizon or some, the planet's being destroyed as any. So ha 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 ha, die, Doctor, die. So his hologram vanishes, and the timer runs out and the feet pads release, so they fall down. But somehow when it's released, they just spin around and grab the bar, which is impossible.
And we're also, we know Yaz is known for her upper body strength.
Oh,
as so,
Yaz, of course, is yes.
Yeah.
So that was just like, that's so and then the music was so loud, I couldn't hear what they were fucking saying to each other.
I couldn't either. They were just going, "Doctor, no!"
Hang
on, Yaz.
Couldn't hear a word.
Yeah, and then they land. Of course, when they land in the TARDIS, what did they land in?
A bed
together to tease all the shippers. All the shippers went. All three of them went, "Oh my god,
they're in bed together."
They stopped tweeting about Raylo stuff for just a minute to ship about that. Then they went back to their Raylo stuff because it's the same.
Yeah. What a completely useless beginning.
What we had. This was a historic episode of Doctor Who, ladies and gentlemen. We had a penisless TARDIS. We had a penisless TARDIS for the first time. I believe
Dan was in it at the end.
Yeah, at the end, but not in the beginning.
Not the beginning.
Yeah, there was no penises in the TARDIS.
Well,
so
I mean, I could debate that.
Sexism has been defeated by Doctor Who. So congratulations. So powerful, so strong, so brave, so empowering. So after they didn't have sex in the bed, which would have made the episode fucking interesting, to be honest with you, then we got the theme song, which sounds like somebody farting into a pillow, and then the graphics look like a bunch of goop in a birth canal, and then that ends. And of course, the TARDIS looks like a giant butter dildo that's going up and down. Or if you want it, like it looks like a dead spider laying on its back with a boner. That's the best way I could. We end up in Liverpool, 1820, with two evil white men industrialists calling for more workers, the poor, the soldiers.
Oh, by the way, in chat, you could tell they're evil because they were white.
They were white, obviously. And then they had a talk about the hole they're digging. And they're digging a hole, and it doesn't make any sense. It's random. And the one evil white guy calls out the other evil white guy, says, "Why are you digging this hole? It's random. It doesn't make any sense." And he's all, "Nothing makes sense. It's a cataclysm. It's the end of the world. How can you stop? Why would you stop digging for the impossible?" And then that's it. We don't really see them for the rest of the episode. And have no.
We'll find out what that's about in episode 5.
Yeah. So yeah, we're jumping around like scenes while the Doctor is dealing. They somewhat deal with the division. Obviously, now we know that the Doctor, he has most of his life has been erased from his memory. And now, so they can create more stories.
I do not accept this.
Yeah, though
I do not accept this canon.
I think it's bull. I don't either. But this is what they say. See, all the stories for Doctor Who had been told, so they gave the Doctor a weak ass origin of sorts, which they never should have done. And the Doctor worked for the division, and Time Lords were basically it was power appropriated from the Doctor, who was a little portal baby who somehow survived a 1,000-foot fall from a portal into the sky, and just randomly came across Tecteun, and they randomly just like hit it off without speaking a word to each other. The rest is history. So the Doctor is trying to figure out what's going on with division amongst all this crap going on. So there's this thing called the Flux, and the Flux is basically a hurricane. It's defying all physics, and it's destroying the universe. Okay. Doctor never heard of it. And as pointed out correctly in our very long pre-production meeting, the Doctor never bothers to go back in time to figure out what's going on with the time machine when she had an opportunity to do that. She is alone with Yaz. Yaz is no longer a police officer, a former police officer. We meet Dan. What's this actor's name again? I can't remember his name.
I know. Suddenly I've gone blank.
It's like some British comedian.
Yeah.
But he's like a television comedian. So he's kind of like the safe comedian, kind of like the Paul Lynn, back in the day.
Brains gone. John Bishop. Yeah, John Bishop.
John Bishop. Is
wow.
Dan.
I really do try and push this Doctor Who stuff out of my head quickly.
Yep. Dan is the new companion. And as I said earlier, he has no direction in life. I don't think he has a job. There's at one point a scene where a woman offers him a box of food, although he has a place to live. And
right by Anfield football stadium as well.
Is that cool?
That's where Liverpool FC play their football match.
Okay. The only thing I know about Liverpool is the Beatles. I want to go there though. Next time I go to UK.
Well, the beginning bit was filmed at the Royal Ivor Dock, and then in the museum outside of the museum window, you could see the Royal Ivor building. So they were trying to put in some Liverpudlian landmarks that people would recognize in the UK at least. But he's just in a museum, and he's just taking around a group of people in museum and talking about the history of Liverpool and how there's no other place like Liverpool. And then he gets berated by a woman because he doesn't work there.
Yeah. And she only has one arm, so there's representation, and that matches the representation I saw in the weather while I was watching the BBC before that with the weather girl with one arm, which is totally cool. That's totally fine.
BBC have got to hit I think it's a 9% disabled quota.
Okay,
that's part of the inclusion and diversity policy.
I watched.
They have
BBC
to hit
News.
a percentage of disabled people on camera.
Okay. I watched BBC News for like an hour.
I thought it was fine.
No, I think that's great. There's not even a problem with that at all. But what I did notice is all your news talks about is Brexit and climate change.
Yes.
Fucking, and what a country file, a show that I kind of fell in love with when I was like, because it was much better than watching Doctor Who, and it was the lead in, and it's like those got these charming people running around the English countryside doing country things. I love it. But no, that one was about climate change too. And Brexit. They managed to get both things in. So yeah. I'm glad I don't watch mainstream. I used to love watching BBC News back in the day.
I used to love watching mainstream TV. Now I wouldn't watch it for shit. And I mean, that's exactly what I'm doing today, watching shit.
So we got a new villain. We got a new villain that was apparently trapped by two non-binary lesbians, or just two non-binary people.
Full disclosure, I thought the black one was a dude.
Not a dude.
Until they opened their mouth, and then I was like, holy shit, okay, shit, that's a woman.
We'll just say a couple of days have somebody imprisoned.
A couple of they-thems.
And I have noticed in Doctor Who, and this goes back to the Moffat era, maybe even to RTD, that most military commanders or security are female now. They have just gotten away with the big brawny men. I guess we're not really necessary anymore.
Why have a big brawny man when a 90-pound woman can easily take care of them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So who's the creature? Who's the guy?
Fuck if I know. It's supposed to be a nemesis that the Doctor has known all along, that's been erased from the Doctor's mind.
Omega.
You think it's Omega?
Might be.
Yeah, until there's a sister involved, so that could mean actually a couple things. But I'm gonna have to I'm not gonna watch it again. But I'm gonna go do my little researches, when I do my video. And because at first my very first thought was, it's the Doctor, or the Valiard, but because we've been waiting.
I'm hoping that fucking Jodie Whittaker turns out to be the Valiard.
Yeah, me too. We've been waiting for the Valiard to come back forever. And yeah, I know BBC radio series, but I'm talking about in the show. So, but not now. I don't want anything to come back. As a matter of fact, I was upset to see the Weeping. I'm like, no, No. And the Santarans are back to their, they tried to make it look retro. They
yeah,
got
they're back to their poo colored cells.
I'm like, I'm not excited about that. Like, is that supposed to make me excited that you made it look like the classic Santarans when I thought the ones from the RTD era were fine? And they don't even.
I thought they were much better, the RTD ones.
Yeah, and they had a different actor too. So
yeah, and then they just made silly jokes, saying, "Wow, you're old, and you look really disgusting, like really disgusting." And he's like, "Yeah, you're disgusting. Yeah."
And that's exactly how it went. And I'm like, is this supposed to be funny?
What?
They're trying really hard in this episode. I'm gonna give them an A for effort because Chibnall is trying. He's just not very talented. I think the guy
who isn't trying, Yaz
is not trying.
You're trying to save somebody in space, and she's just a narky bint. Just like, crack a fucking smile, you miserable cow. Just the way that she was speaking to John Bishop's character.
Well, yeah, he's all, thanks, girl. Yaz is fine.
Yaz is fine. Don't call me girl. Yaz is fine.
It's like, what is this 2015 again? Are we denying the hand? Well, that's what.
Who says thank you, girl? Anyway, that was set up just for Yaz to get raged.
Yep.
No one says thank you, girls. If a lady helped you out, like a 30-year-old lady helped you do something, you wouldn't go thank you, girl, to her. You just say thanks for that. Cheers.
Thanks. What's your name? Like, yeah, it was a complete setup, and
just set up to fucking shout at a man.
It's shit writing. Shit writing. What's always been wrong with this show is shit writing. The Doctor's a male character, but there was a chance I could have been won over with good writing, but that wasn't going to happen with Chibnall, and he is trying to do his best Moffat in this, by the way. Which Moffat.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed that this is Chibnall cosplaying Moffat.
Yep.
Trying to set up these intricate, little things, but they just Moffat kind of does them relatively well. Chibnall just because I actually, one of the things that I thought when I was watching this was, Jesus Christ, this is like an horrendous Moffat episode.
What probably would have helped? It helped during the holidays, but the festive special. The only time they get ratings bumps now is when they bring back Captain Jack Harkness, who is now canceled from the show, apparently, like not coming back, which is unfortunate because this would have been a time for Jack. Obviously this was just a big setup, but like you wasted so much. They tried to put so much into one episode, and this is just somebody who's not capable of writing anything simple and good. So when you try to get complex, it gets holy crap. It's just a mess.
There needed to be some breathing room in this, and there just wasn't. It was literally jumping from one.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's so many
miserable event to another miserable event.
Right. I got it. Okay, so we started out with the two guys in 1820. Then they're gone. And then
they're gone. They don't come back.
The villain kills the two non-binary days. And then we meet Dan.
Yeah, but we have the terrible setup for that as well, because she's retiring and she's telling the other guard, you don't approach. You don't engage them in conversation, and you don't do anything that they ask. And this is a woman who's been doing this job for goodness knows how long, by the sounds of it. And then he says something to her, just, are you feeling happy to be leaving now? And that was it. She just immediately started to engage him in conversation. And then he got out, killed her, and then killed the other. It's just like, that was terrible setup.
It was pointless, and it was supposed to be a mustache twirling point. Like, who cares? And there was that random couple that there was some. again, so much shit happened. So again, we had two of the guys from 1820. They're gone. We met Dan. We got the two theys.
They thems, yeah.
They thems by the new villain. We haven't even gotten to Discount Killmonger yet.
No,
we've got Yaz and
we got the Arctic couple.
We've got the dog man. It's a carnivista or a looper.
It's a dog.
It's a dog. It's a dog.
The man in a dog suit looks shit.
It looks shit. It looked absolute shit. He captures Dan. There's a reason for that. Then there's some random couple where a warning like drone comes in and they said, we're going to ignore it. And then she, of course, the woman bashes it and said, get ready for dinner to her little, very skinny beta male. And then later on, they're just killed. And we find out, well, the beta's killed. And we find out the woman is the sister of the bad guy who we don't really know at this point. And he's all, sister, this is going to be fun.
And we don't know how we located her. Because the first time we saw anything was them in the Arctic, in a regular house in the Arctic. So it looked like the house had been literally moved from somewhere and plonked down in the Arctic. And then he was like, where have you put the chilies? And she says, you usually put them in the fridge. No, I don't. Oh, the chilies are in the fridge.
So it might... he's obviously a guy from the Division. That's what I think. And maybe I don't know. But we don't get any. The mustache twirling villain escapes, and then he just turns up in the Arctic to kill the guy and turn the woman into his sister. Yep.
How? Why? How do you find?
Why once the Doctor and Yaz escaped, they ended up on Earth, and somehow they got a warning signal and they landed right in front of Dan's apartment, and they suss out that Dan was kidnapped by the dog, and then the house shrinks, so they're after the dog man in a ship
somebody was taking a shit.
And so, yeah, somebody was taking a shit. And they're like, sorry. No.
Like, hold on. I need to go back to this fucking mustache twirling villain. It's set up that he's got psychic abilities because he links to the Doctor psychically. Yes. Why didn't you show a psychic event or the woman going like this or something? As if something is happening in her head. So we realize that there's a psychic. Nothing.
Well, that's why I got Time Lord vibes from him, because there's a psychic connection and they can connect to each other. So, and it might be because there's just millions or thousands, millions of Doctors out there, and more Time Lords because there's more stories instead of just, I don't know, continuing the one that was fine till you got here. But that's.
Don't say it's going to be the Master and Missy.
Yeah, because they never really fully explained the female Master to male Master, and they were both existing separately at the end. And I won't care because right now this is just for mockery. I guess I'm just gonna see it out because I've invested so much into it already, but this show's like dead. It's fucking dead. It is beyond dead. They are throwing everything but the kitchen sink into this. I'm sure they tried to get old Doctors to come back, and I don't know if they would or wouldn't. They were, of course,
I wouldn't touch
somehow restricted by COVID, so their episode count for this season was reduced. It seems that they were very hesitant to call it season 13 or series 13. That's why it's called the Flux, but it's still series 13.
Still series. Well, it's on the iPlayer, season 13, part 1.
And a show where I used to follow like religiously, like every day. I would check all the Doctor Who websites for spoilers and everything. I just haven't done that in now years, a couple of years. Just and like used to go to Reddit every day, and just don't care. And I wouldn't want to go. I would hate what's left of the fandom is not anything I'd want to be a part of.
Judging by Twitter, no. Well, definitely not Twitter version.
Not Twitter, not Reddit either. Reddit loves us, by the way. Big
I'm sure they do.
Big fans.
Reddit's not like me since 2012, so I'm okay.
And we're on a time limit, so we're just gonna like, hey, so in the Outpost Rose is discount Killmonger from Game of Thrones. I forgot the actor's name, and he's observing something, and nothing has happened for so long, and then the Flux happens, and he escapes an escape pod, and the Flux is just it looks like basically the dark energy from Thor Dark World.
It looks like Parallax.
It did. Oh, and the TARDIS menstruated this episode as well. So
it
bled. And they didn't explain it. They did, like, that's something. Wow, it's like, wow, the TARDIS is leaking. It looked like it was bleeding, and they're like, and she just goes, it's nothing. And then it was literally nothing, and they just moved on from it. In the TARDIS, different doors are opening up around. That's something interesting. That's an interesting concept that I'd like to see done with a better writer and a better doctor someday. But like, time is probably being destroyed along with the universe. That is my guess. My guess is all of these things will be wrapped up in a very Chris Chibnall way. Remember The Power of Three?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Like, great concept. The boxes come down, people dying from a heart attack, and it just gets wrapped up in the last minute. It was like some gobbledygook in the last 5 minutes that wrapped it up. I was like, what the fuck? That is a Chris Chibnall episode. So all this stuff will get wrapped up by a magic bullshit machine, a Deus Ex Machina, or just some dumb explanation while there's an arbitrary countdown clock.
Well, there was already plenty of dumb. The Doctor being really dumb in this episode. Like at the end where she's being chased by the Flux, and the Flux like smashes the doors open of the TARDIS, and it can actually come in by the looks of it, and she just smashes the console with the hammer, so it releases the time vortex, and the time vortex just goes in a neat beam, by the way, into the Flux, which is now backed away from the TARDIS by considerable margin, and this is just, and then she says, "Here, have some time vortex. See what that does to you."
And it does
nothing. And then she's just like, "Oh, it doesn't appear to do anything."
And the cloister bell sounds.
So that was a well thought out thing to do.
Yeah, and then the bad guy like connects with the Doctor again and shows the Doctor all this stuff, and the Doctor just says, "I don't remember. Who are you?" And the bad guy goes, "Well, you don't know me, but I know you."
Yeah,
this is gonna be our final. All those battles we fought, this will be our final.
We danced across the stars, fighting each other.
Yep. And
I remember all those battles, so I have the advantage.
So the dog, the dog, it turns out that they're Looper. So they have, each dog man has a human, which so they are all going to Earth in 7 billion ships to grab their human to save them. They don't have enough time, so they connect their ships to create a wall to shield the Earth from the Flux. But
what a coincidence!
Totally.
What a very coincidental thing that their ships can suddenly do.
The TARDIS can't get in there in time, and it looks like the Flux is about to get the TARDIS. And will the Doctor make it? And well, of course we do, because we saw the scenes for next week. And
it's like next week. So, Doctor's fine.
Doctor's fine.
So that was a bit of a shitty, suspenseful ending. But we have Claire later. Claire, Claire getting taken by the stalked by the Weeping Angel. Dan is meeting the girl for a date.
Yeah,
they're going for drinks. It's specified. We're going for drinks. She's waiting for him on a random fucking street of houses.
In like the darkest, most haunted street in London. And then she gets
Liverpool. But she would be in town in a bar or outside of the bar waiting for him.
Well, and then
the house she's next to, just suddenly the evil mustache twirling villain sister's just like, go in the house, go in the house, go in the house. And she makes her walk. She can't control her body. She makes her like, what the fuck stupid shit is this?
No,
makes sense.
That
At
was
least
so
makes sense.
Random, dude. That was so random and dumb.
LOL, so random.
It was LOL, so random. Hang on, I'm getting stuff ready here. Okay. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, and I almost got her and Claire confused. And I'm like, okay, Claire's got an arm, Diane doesn't. Okay, that's good. But Claire, I mean, they're both brunette. Like, all you brunette British girls look the same to me. But Claire at least felt when the doctor landed to go see Dan, Claire comes up and goes, "Doctor, you're here."
Doctor. Yeah.
And the doctor doesn't know who she is.
No.
So she's like, oh, that's weird. Okay, well, I guess I'll see you later. It's just weird that I decided to take the long way home and walk this way. And it sounds like she wasn't really in
that's a
control.
reference to going to Gallifrey.
Yep.
Remember in what's it called? Heaven Sent. I took the long way home.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see.
So I think that's got something to do with going to Gallifrey.
We're gonna see another doctor. We're gonna see another. I don't think we're gonna see.
Maybe Claire's another doctor.
Maybe Claire's another doctor. Maybe we need some more female. Well, they need to mix it up because the whole purpose of creating new stories was to basically de-white the past.
Maybe Diane's the new doctor.
I think their whole intention was to insert doctors in between the 12 previous doctors so they can make it more accessible, because nobody was allowed to watch or enjoy Doctor Who until Chris Chibnall came for new voices, for the larger global audience. You know, the same shit we heard with the Eternals, the same shit we heard with Lord of the Rings. Yeah, because apparently it just said whites only on all of that stuff.
Can only be enjoyed by whites.
Yep. Such fucking crap.
Yes,
it's all done to divide us, by the way.
But Doctor, like Jodie Whittaker just really kind of dismisses Claire.
She's like, I'm really busy. We should talk later. And like, that's the kind of thing the doctor would absolutely go, whoa, what? But that's Jodie's doctor. She is dumb.
How'd you know me? Where did we meet?
Yeah. And it's a big deal for the doctor not to know something. She even points it out later in the episode. I don't like not understanding. I'm like, well, that's a pretty she's not understanding the whole time, because that's because you're setting up the mystery box, which is just the worst type of storytelling. But it's, you know what? It's a tool for hack writers. Unreliable narrators and mystery box can be fun once in a while, but most of the time it's just gobbledygook. At least there was so much going on, though. At least they didn't have time to properly preach to us, right? But there's still little wokeisms in there. But now it's just we're at the core issue with Doctor Who, which is the writing sucks. It's terrible. It's awful. It's unwatchable. And thankfully, it's almost over. It just sucks. It cost us our favorite franchise, our favorite show. And it's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, so Claire walks off and that a weeping angel shows up out of freaking nowhere. And
well, she's back at her house, and then there's a weeping angel literally in the middle of the road.
And this is a kind of a slow one, because I mean,
comparative to the other ones we've seen, yes, very
little slow. And I like, just don't, Chibnall, don't tell us who the weeping angels are. All right. I love the not knowing. I love the suspecting that they might be Time Lords.
Yeah, Time Lords. Yeah,
but Time Lords are meaningless now because they just appropriate.
Yes, yeah. Well, Chibnall made the Time Lords. Yeah, absolutely.
I fucking hate what he did to the show. Fuck, the show had a great mythology, man. Like, it was one of the most unique mythologies. It was one that wasn't overly world built, and you can add on But there was one little thing that it's just like, don't change this one little thing, and they did it. They fucking did it. Kind of like, you know what? We like Bond, just don't kill him. Because once you kill him, then he's dead. Then he's dead.
I'll kill him or make him a complete cock.
Yeah. They
Don't
can't
fundamentally change the core of the character that's been beloved since 61 or whatever. Whenever Doctor No came out.
There used to be a time where actors were like Michael Keaton turned down Batman. Like there was a time where writers were like, no, we shouldn't do a sequel. We shouldn't do a Jaws 2. There used to be a time where writers go, am I fit to change the entire history of Doctor Who, to change what so many of my peers and my predecessors worked so hard and so many fans have followed through every book and BBC radio series, and back to the fans who are pointing their 16mm or 8mm cameras in front of a TV with no sound to share it with each other just to have a piece of Doctor Who. Am I fit for this? Nah.
Ego and vanity.
Fuck. Golly. So yeah, it ended, and I have no fucking idea what happened other than the Flux came. It fluxed everything up, and there's lots of mysteries that need to be solved in 5 episodes, and they introduced like 25 episodes of characters.
I was really frustrated with Discount Killmonger when the Fluxes arrived, and it's literally like devouring planets. And he's trying to give a record of what's going on, and he can't explain it for shit.
No,
it's just like the planets are just like folding in on them. No, there's a big fucking cloud which is making them, just crushing them with its gravity or whatever. And he's just trying to. It's like they just suddenly started to crumble in on themselves, and
yeah. The fabric of the universe is unraveling. That's all you need to say. But you would need a talented writer.
Well, we don't know that, because the Flux just looks like some moving nebula or nebulous
cloud. It's like a
cloud. It's a Galactus. It's a fucking parallax.
Oh, and the CG is no better than it was. It was better in the Moffat era. It was better in the freaking Moffat era. By the way, Az, thank you for being here. This is Az from Heel versus Babyface. You can his link is in the description if you want to subscribe to his channel. He's a great guy, good friend, co-host of Friday Night Tights. This is my anniversary, my 19th wedding.
Happy 19th.
That's why I'm not doing this at night. Thank you very much. I got a hot date in Los Angeles. I'm going to go see Danny Elfman perform The Nightmare Before Christmas, something my wife's always wanted to see, with Weird Al Yankovic, and I guess Pee Wee Herman's going to be there too. It's going to be kind of fucking wild. But yeah, I could sit here for the next half hour talking about like the scam that I had to go through to go to this concert. Because apparently you go to concerts in LA if you just get a test. So of course it was negative. $300 fucking dollars. Fucking bullshit. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Doctor Who. Thank you for being here. We got Bradley Burnett for $20. Well, since you didn't say anything about the guest star appearance by Patrick Duffy in the shower, I guess things are status quo. Extremely wishful thinking, of course. Thanks for both of you enduring this show so I don't have to.
I wish. I absolutely wish.
I do believe there was a large portion of the small sect of fandom out there who was hopeful that the Flux would be coming in to fix everything, and it certainly could. There is a way. They absolutely could just say, no, Timeless Children was complete bullshit. And they would be smart to do so. Even with all the damage they've done, it would, if you don't fix it, it won't matter if Russell T. Davies comes back. Simple as that.
Well, that's the only kind of reason I'm going to look at on Russell T. is if they fix the Timeless Children, and if they're going to pretend like nothing's, they're just going to pretend, be like, We're not going to say anything about it, do anything about it. We're just going to carry on as normal. Fuck him. Fuck it. Fuck it all. Fuck it all. Fuck off.
No, that's not fixing it.
No,
because
that's ignoring it.
You're ignoring it, hoping you can revisit it later. You're too afraid to change it because the 5 people on Twitter might get clap back from it.
But this is rooted in Chibnall's Timeless Children because, of course, this is reference to a period that she can't remember.
Yep.
Because Doctor's a fucking he.
Yeah.
The period that he can't remember.
I got to remember to say he. Buford T. Justice for $50. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
I hope you both are taking care of yourselves. I couldn't watch this shit even if someone paid me. Love you both. Happy anniversary, Gary. Thank you. Justice. It's terrible. It's terrible. And
thankfully people are paying us to watch this, so that's why we did. Yay.
I just when I saw the Suntarans and the Weeping Angels, I'm like, no. That's how I know I hate this. I'm like, no, these are things I would be very happy to see normally. The Weeping Angels were overdone, but I still think fucking just a genius creation. Absolute genius.
Oh, yeah. I love Blink. I love Blink so much. And the crazy thing about Blink, of course, it's barely got the Doctor in it. It's it's a Carrie, whatever she was called, Carrie, who went on to do Hollywood.
Big time. And it showed you like what you could do with the Doctor Who world if you maybe did a spin-off with another character.
Just did one off, just a one shot.
There's so much I don't know if it's budget constraints. There's so much shit they don't do. I mean, like in the past, they've been great with books and radio show. That's all, and toys and all that. They've been great. But with the actual show, I mean, you should have never gone, what was it, 15 years without a Doctor Who show. Well, besides the 96 movie. You're spitting out specials.
Well, there was the license issue, though. There was a whole license issue going on as well. So, but it was what was he called? The head of the BBC at the time, Michael Grade, fucking hated it. Fucking hated it.
Yeah.
And he hated Colin Baker as well. No, not save the show. He wanted to kill the show.
Yeah, he wanted to, yeah, he hated the show. Yeah.
Hated the show and he hated Colin Baker.
Mikey Gussler for $20 says Limp Bizkit released their latest album 10 years in the making. They called it Limp Bizkit Still Sucks. Listen to all 12 songs at midnight. My favorite out of style, Dad Vibes Don't Change, Love to Hate, and Snacky Poo. Okay. That's a Mikey Gussler. Limp Bizkit album review and a Doctor Who review. Thanks, buddy. I'm not a Limp Bizkit fan, like at all. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow for $5 says, hello, happy
nice.
Came over from Culture Casino, usual Sunday Culture review. After a shout out, I'm guessing this is new Doctor Who autopsy review. I think autopsies, I think that's a good way to put it.
Oh, yeah. Instead of review, an autopsy. Yeah.
All said. Hey, Crazy Cat Guy gave us a hot dog.
Ooh. What? Swag.
And an ice cream. Thank you, Crazy Cat Guy. Jubs McGee says, calling it. The villain is Omega.
That's what I thought.
Originally be called Alpha. She came first. She is the beginning of everything.
Oh, God, no.
If they really don't know, these are things that should never be answered. I don't want to know this at all.
But if he's got to do, I mean, if he's going to bring Omega in, he has to do something with Omega because Omega was responsible for the Time Lords, and that's no longer the case.
Right? Rassilon's still out there somewhere, too.
Yeah, but Rassilon was now a creation of...
Yep.
He's of Tecteun's... God, I hate it.
Hate the Timeless Children. I fucking hate it. Happy Halloween, guys. Hope you're enjoying your holiday. Also, Doctor Who died in 2015, says the Grizzly for $5.
Yeah, correct.
I agree. I agree. I miss Matt Smith. I was watching some Matt Smith episodes. Matt was damn good. He was damn good. Peter Capaldi, Matt Smith, Christopher Eccleston, and of course David Tennant. All fucking just great. They did. It was the writing. Poor Peter. Poor Peter.
He got shafted.
He got fucked.
If he had good scripts, and they kept Kara as Kara and not pseudo doctor, then he could have, because when he turned episodes that would shit into, like, he could just turn it with the way that he acted, man. Fuck.
Oh yeah.
That's go on.
I was just saying it's getting easier to watch them, and it's because of this shit is so bad. I still can't watch season 10, but 8, 9.
I like the Missy bits in season 10. I like the Missy redemption stuff. But again, it got all wasted. It just got wasted at the end. It got all wasted with the whole Cyberman drivel, and I just burst out laughing when that pilot turned up in the final episode. To Deus Ex Machina everything.
It's Deus Ex Lesbian. Remember
Deus Ex Scissoring. Hey, I'm no longer a cyber man. I'm a big girl again, and I can scissor me timber.
Is the TARDIS now a shitter to represent the quality of the episodes? Asks Henry K for $4.99. Yes.
Yeah. The TARDIS can't handle this garbage. It's just falling apart.
Really
and they have this bit where the TARDIS's door keeps moving, and they walk into the TARDIS, and the TARDIS is like, the door's gone on the ground, so they've had to like open the door and like step in, and then they go to the console, and the next scene happens, and then when when it goes back to them in the TARDIS, the door's perfect again, back where it should be. And they start looking out and marveling at the stars.
Yeah.
It's like, how did that happen?
Confused. I think they had multiple doors opening, but I don't know if those doors were disappearing or they just lost them in the edit. But I mean, they throw so much at this, and it was just like, hey, let's put every concept we can think of and make it look like we're doing something, which was just a bunch of nothing. It was just nothing happened. It was set up. When you have a 6 episode season, you don't spend an entire episode on setup. 15 minutes tops. Let's go back to
we didn't need the Centaurans. We didn't need the guys in Liverpool in 1820.
Nope.
Give the benefit with Claire, because with Claire, she's met them before, so leave that. That's okay. Did we need the Weeping Angel bit? Did we need the Diane? I mean, there seems to be just so much, but we didn't need Discount Killmonger at all. He didn't serve any purpose.
It's like they were planting. It's like they were trying to create a pop song, right? And they were trying to hit beats so people would watch the whole fucking episode, because despite the ratings especially on iPlayer, if you watch it for like a couple of minutes, they consider that a view. But they know the real data, like how many people are actually watching the entire show, which is an astronomically small number, even for the UK.
Well, we'll find out, because the ratings will come out.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be an RTD bump?
I think there'll definitely be a bump. Because there's a few things. A, it's only 6 episodes. And B, we are building up to the end of a Doctor run. So I think we're definitely going to see a ratings bump because of that. I'm just this episode. Just you compare it to a normal episode. It's like everything in this episode was just too over the top. The universe is coming to an end. It's eating its way through solar systems. We got everyone, people left, right, and center turning up. Houses getting shrunk. Dogs trying to kill us, then be liking us. Then dogs circling the planet with all their spaceship. Just like everything was just OTT, and we had like 2 minutes at the beginning of breathing when that was just John Bishop going around the sodding museum. There needed to be some air to breathe, some room to breathe, and this episode provided none. It's like it was felt as if it was it felt if it was worried that if it actually stopped to do some character development, which I know something Chibnall's actually hated throughout the course of his run, that people would get bored or lose interest or whatever. And it was just such a mess, this episode. Such a fucking mess of just too much. Like you said, just throwing so many things at the wall for setup for later. And it's just a complete higgledy-piggledy. And we're going to have to wait till episode 6 for the stuff to be like, oh, right. So that worked because of that. I mean, I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt that it does, by the way. Oh, that worked because of that. And that worked because of that. And that. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I was thinking back, the start of season 7 had Asylum of the Daleks. We did a watch party at my shop for that one. I fucking love that episode.
It's a good episode.
God, it's a good episode. And then Deep Breath, fucking good episode.
Love me some Deep Breath.
I appreciate it more now than I even did when it came out. It's fantastic. 11th Hour, one of the best introduction episodes of a Doctor, period.
Yeah.
And that's not even probably the good old days. We're not talking about, Smith and Jones and Rose, the RTD era, which is still, the best with the Baker era. And the Pertwee era, the Third Doctor, which I got my Third Doctor 1/6 scale. It's back there. Fucking thing is tight. It's so cool. Max Redstone. Yeah, I'm getting a little worried about Big Chief Studios though, and their quality.
Well, you can now pre-order the new Doctors. They are now available.
5 years, like the
yeah. Well, exactly.
Took 2 fucking years.
I had an email from them the other day.
Did you? And I've got so much stuff on order from them. At least Sideshow like produces, in a reasonable amount of time.
Hey, they did a statement.
Oh, what was it? Because they've sent me emails like, sorry for the delay before.
A product update. Dear customers, October has been a very busy time for us here at Big Chief, with literally hundreds of items being shipped out to eager customers. Our Third Doctor and 13th Doctor six-tail character replica figures have proven to be a hit with fans. The Third Doctor is you couldn't get rid of the other one. And we are thrilled to deliver the quality that collectors have come to expect. And then it goes on to about problems with delivery.
Yeah.
Problems with shipping, problems with getting the stuff because of all the other points, blah, blah, blah. Given the current circumstances and the unavoidable domino effect on our schedule, all of our outstanding products have been affected in one way or another.
Yes,
we are focusing on getting the delayed figures through the tooling process and into mass production as quickly as possible. So, yeah, they are way, way, way behind.
I'm patient up until 2 years, but I've got a Gandalf that's been on order for over 2 years.
And I've had your K9 on order for a year and a half.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go in and cancel some of their orders, dude. It's just not even worth it. Plus, I'll buy it secondhand when it comes out. Max Redstone says, "Hail, Gary and Az. Dr. Karen and Yaz screaming in front of a green screen and landing on a bed in the TARDIS. They didn't scissor. That would be a payoff. It would, Max. It would. But they did that to all the shippers can go, ooh. I could hear them, all 4 of them out there. They're all at the same house, by the way. Thank you, sir. Uber Geek for £5 That's real money. Didn't Chibnall base the structure of this season on the trial of the Time Lord? I don't know. I read zero news on it at all. I was given a couple of rumors that I'm done with all that stuff. And yeah, there's nothing. I just want it to be done. The one thing I know is there's a plan to double down on the Timeless Children, not get rid of it, not erase it, double down on it, to cement it, to make sure it stays forever. Now, RTD could come in and flip a switch and change it if he wants to. I don't know if he'd do that. Is the thing is, Chibnall's leaving, Whitaker's leaving, but Piers Vanger is staying.
Mm-hmm.
He's still there. He's a problem too. They're all problems. They all need to go.
He might be mandated by the BBC that this policy stays as well.
God, this fucking word mandate.
I know. Such a shitty ass word.
Yep. Have you thought about streaming with other YouTubers? All the time. All the time. What does it say? Oh, it's Kyan Rinnell. There's a guy who has similar takes on Doctor Who. Yes, I know. I've done live streams with the Overlord DVD many times. Thank you, Kyan Rinnell. I appreciate the $4.99. I have, oh God, who I streamed with Tim Pool a couple of weeks ago. Did you catch that? Yeah. We streamed with Adam Krigler last Friday. That was a hell of a Friday night tights, Az.
It's good Friday night tights.
Yeah, that was a good fucking time. I was laughing my ass off. Az was on fire. Everybody was on fire. Or as Jeremy would say, everyone was killing it, especially
killing it. Stop saying killing it, Jeremy.
Kyan Rinnell as Alec Baldwin, which just won the internet. It's just fucking won the internet. And that was a last minute decision too. Well done. Well played. 007 Southpaw for $5. Couldn't bring myself to watch Jodie's second season, and I had no clue that was going on this episode. Am I missing any information?
No.
Like, the only thing that they referred to from last season was the Division, which is such a, I mean, who knows what the Division is? They spent like 5 minutes on it. Less than 5 minutes. And remember when they set up the Timeless Children? I believe it was the second episode of Jodie's first season.
Yes. The floating toilet paper.
Yeah, could read her mind. The psychic toilet paper.
The psychic toilet paper that could read her forgotten memory mind. Fuck off, Chibnall.
Fuck off, Chibnall. Thank you. I'm going to go over to the donation side. We had Jester Roanoke for $1 on the donation side. Said, do you think Chibi's end will cause people to start to look fondly on the end of the John Nathan Turner era? Some of his stuff was a mess, but at least he played up the mystery aspect and had no countdowns. I already do that. I already do that. I honestly, truly, always am with you guys. I've never had a problem, even with the shittiest episodes. It was season 10, before the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen. Season 10, I was struggling to like. But before that, like, dude, I could fire up any episode, even the shittier Tenet ones, like Fear Her, which is just a fucking terrible fucking episode. But I'd watch that. If it popped back on, I'd watch it because like it's got Tenet, even I'm totally softening on Capaldi. Like season 8's got some solid episodes that I would watch if they were rerun right now. There was a time for about 10 years straight. I watched 2 Doctor Who episodes a day. Now I'm down to like once a week, because it's just it sucks. But I would start my morning watching Doctor Who. And then, when I was at the shop, it was on a loop all fucking day for 4 years straight. So yes, I already look fond. The 96 movie with the 8th Doctor. I love it. I like.
I'd happily watch that.
I'd watch the web series. It's better than this shit. It is. And we are on we're only going to go for a few more minutes here because I do have to hit the road.
Hit the road, Jack.
But I wanted to bring these back. If you're new to the channel, I used to do this all the time. So an episode would air and I go live for like a half hour or an hour. Az and I have done this for the last 2 years with Doctor Who, and I'm going to fucking finish it out. Like, why not? I don't know if I can, I don't know if I'm going to do the noon on Sunday thing every day because of the move, which is creating things. And there's all kinds of stuff going on behind the scenes.
I just want to make sure the bitch fucking regenerates.
Yeah, that's pretty much to make sure. And they must have shot the scene because she's done, right?
She's done. Yeah. Her and Mandeep Gill are done.
So do you think they already picked the new doctor and they're just waiting to announce?
I think RTD has some ideas about who he wants. Whether or not they've locked them in yet, I don't know.
I don't think they have. It's just, it feels to me, I could be wrong because
it could be poison chalice.
Like this RTD thing was not, was maybe something in the works for a little while. I think it sparked from last year from the rewatches. That's just my speculation. I think RTD came back and those rewatches during the Coof, which were very well intentioned. I think until the BBC got involved.
Yeah, there was a lovely lass, wasn't there, who organized these watch-alongs, Doctor Who watch-alongs. I can't remember what she's called. I do apologize.
From Doctor Magazine, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. So and she organized these watch-alongs, and then I think she managed to get Moffat and RTD involved, and then the BBC had to get their fucking beacon. They're like, let's do a watch-along of Jodie Whittaker's first series of Doctor. No fucking watch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then it turned like all of a sudden there was attacks on the fans. As soon as they got involved, fucking Paul Cornell, fucker,
rewrote his
shit. Yeah. And RTD had a laugh because now the Doctor can regenerate into animals and amoebas and single cell organisms. I guess.
Yeah.
Samuel Myth for £2 says, hate this era, but the Sontarans look ace. If you liked it, I mean, like it was fine. It was fine. I have Sontarans on my wall back there. Many. I have every fucking action figure. You're just seeing a very small percentage. But I like the new design. Now it's the older design. It's not the new design anymore. But it was fine. Fine. The Weeping Angel looked like a Weeping Angel.
Yeah, it was a good looking Weeping Angel. It was fine. I didn't have a problem with the Weeping Angel bit.
I thought the bit was good. I just hated seeing a good character and like knowing that Chibnall will fuck it up somehow. We'll get an origin. He'll like make up some origin. It was all the I don't know, all the women who are abused by Time Lords or something.
Oh no.
Coming back to haunt them. I kid slightly.
And she wasn't there to attack her. She was there to feed off her time energy. She was there to take her back to a time before a bunch of Time Lords assaulted her.
Also, it made me think of the one Doctor Who collectible I don't have anymore. I had, and I sold it to a friend thinking I'd be able to get it again on eBay. And then I had no idea like how rare it was. And like, I have not found one in 5 years. And it's the 1/6 scale Weeping Angels. You get a 3-pack, right? Or 2-pack or 3-pack, and you get the grave of Amy and
oh, the Amy Rory.
yeah, the tombstone. And I've been looking for that forever. And I'm like, God, you know. And my friends even like, oh, so, and I'm like, no, keep it. I like the thrill of the hunt, but
Yes, the thrill of the chase.
The thrill of the chase. They only made 500. And I guess they were serious about that because you know sometimes when they say they only made 10,000, they're fucking lying. They made more than 10,000, but I guess in this case they actually did. So I could hang as a real fan from Pertwee, not JW Wokey. Looking forward to RTD coming back. Fingers crossed. Chris Lowley for £5 British. I hope for the sake of the fandom, for the sake of humanity, for the sake of all that's good in the world, that RTD just brings us back to being a fucking fun adventure. He erases the timeless children. I'm not even asking you to erase Jodie Whittaker. Just erase the fucking timeless children and move on. Just move on and keep this show what it's meant to be. Something that brings people together. All right. And as far as the people, it's always been political. Listen, political allegory. That is not a political position. Okay. There aren't people who are for genocide. There aren't people who are for war. Okay. These are not political positions. Those are moral positions. There's nobody who's for racism. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, people. Sorry, Father.
Down with racism. Up with racism.
Yeah. It's except for the people producing this stuff. I think they're all about it. They love dividing us into like little sections and percentages. Like, well, we need 2.5 people with one arm. Well, what happens if you got 2 people with one right arm? That's not representation. We need somebody with one left arm and one right arm. You see how ridiculous it gets for one, you know.
Oh, it gets ridiculous.
Yeah. Left, says Sora for £2 British.
Okay.
Left. Listening to people talk about Doctor Who makes me think of the first time I saw David Tennant episodes, and I immediately went back and watched everything.
Oh.
Yep. Nothing they make now could ever do that. No, Saint, you're so right, dude. I got so many people hooked into that show at the comic shop, and it was just by playing it. And they would come in, they'd hang out the shop, and then all of a sudden I'd see them sitting down at the couch, like watching the show and finishing it up. And then all of a sudden they're coming in the next couple of days and they're talking to me about it. They're like, oh, I just binged it on Netflix. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was so much fun. It was.
Yeah.
Morgan King. So if the Doctor is the beginning of time, Lord, how do you explain River Song? Oh, they probably won't. They'll just forget about it. Prophet of the Dragon for $5. My brother, thank you, by the way, Morgan King. My brother suggested I start watching Doctor Who. Never did because you guys breakdowns on the new stuff. Are the pre-pandering series still worth a watch? Yes, absolutely. Where would you recommend he stop as? Where would your stopping point be?
I would probably say after Capaldi's first season, so after season 8.
Yep.
Which is a shame because you miss something like Heaven Sent. No, Hellbent, which is incredible.
It's
Heaven Sent is it's Heaven Sent that leads into Hellbent, isn't it?
Yep. And then Heaven Sent, Hellbent.
Yeah, Heaven Sent's the good one, Hellbent's the shit one. Yeah. So yeah, but I would add that in, but stop after season 8.
Yeah. It gets very, very choppy after that. They fucking cuck Davros. It's just but there are
anyone here for a game of dodgems?
I mean, there's 2 episodes in season 8 that are magnificent. 2 of my favorite Doctor Who episodes. So
Deep Breath I think is masterful.
Well, there's 3. Yeah, there's Deep Breath, Mummy on the Orient Express.
Oh, that's a good one.
And why am I blanking on? God dang it! I got live stream. Oh, why am I blanking on that episode? They're both written by Jamie Matheson. Now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah. Are you talking about the Oh God, no, I'm blanking.
Yeah. See, it's contagious.
Yeah, it's you. It's your old man boomer that
It's my old man
infected
boomerism.
me.
Flatline. It's where the two-dimensional creatures come in.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
He's got a fucking great speech in that one. I love it.
He's got plenty of good speeches.
Yep. Until they erase the atrocity that is the Timeless Children, no actor, actress, director, or showrunner will change that the Doctor Who series is dead, says Russian Bob for $5. Could not agree more. Period. End of story. That is a deal breaker. I tweeted that. Everybody, like when Straczynski was like, I'm thinking about Doctor Who, I'm like, okay, answer one question. Who was the first Doctor?
Yeah. If your answer is not William Hartnell, please proceed to go fuck off.
Sora. Oh, wow. So much I can't. Let me read this one.
Oh no.
Celebrating my first year of what's up? Celebrating my first year of marriage today on top of what we got two of our favorite YouTubers. Doctor Who just needs a new start, like you guys say. Unfortunately,
the Chucky account, Twitter account.
Yeah.
Has just tweeted out like a thing where he's talking about his child's queer and gender fluid. And he's got at the top, get with the program, people. And Chucky's talking to a guy, says, you know, I have a queer kid, gender fluid. And this kid says back to Chucky, and you're okay with that? And Chucky replies by saying, I'm not a monster, Jake. Chucky, the killer doll, is open and accepting.
Remember when they got upset?
He's an ally.
He's an ally.
He's an ally.
Remember when they got upset that Michael Meyer might have been a homophobe, but
like, killed a gay couple?
Like forget all the murders he did.
Yeah, don't worry about the straight people he killed.
Remember
he killed a couple of gay people.
Where a witch kills a young boy?
Yeah.
She kills a young boy because he made another boy wearing a dress feel bad. And that was supposed to be an ad for a progressive ad, and I think it was the best argument for good parenting you can find. Like, yeah. Oh, fuck a nanny. One of us is staying home. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't need to be the man. It doesn't need to be like whoever's making the most money goes to work. But
eating Twixes is making you put dresses on, then you're not getting any Twixes again.
Yeah, you eat too many Twixes, you eat too many Doritos, you drink too many soda. It goes for me, anybody else, gay, straight, non-binary. You're going to die faster because that is bad for you. Junk. Dana B, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Meep. Oh my God. Meep. I can't even say that.
Is this pronouns?
Jose. It says Meep Rock. I can't even pronounce it. Mipra. And then it's Mipril. Kadojo. Kadoje. Mipril Kadoje. It's New Zealand. So thank you for the 5 New Zealand dollars, the Hobbiton dollars. Dana B.
Thank you again.
Stephen Yarnell for $9.99. I liked Missy, but it was bittersweet. She was only brought on the show, show us that it's going to. She was only brought on basically to get us primed for the female Doctor. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, but the annoying thing is, it worked. It worked with Michelle Gomez. It worked as a villain, and it worked as a decent gotcha moment for us all.
Andrew Jones gave us £2 to tell us that we're transphobic.
Okay,
I'm not afraid of trans people.
Biology is not transphobia, dude. Don't worry about it.
Yep. And there's a fact. Naked Frame for $2. Can we call as a no Naked Frame?
What's he
Call me
asking?
a neck beard, bro. No, you can call me one if you like, though.
I got a.
Part of my beard is on my neck.
It's cut round the neckline. We're not going down neck.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Russell T already said he stands by the Timeless Children. Sylvia Van Threepwood for €2. I did see that, and that's why he might stand by it and then change it later. I don't think that's likely, though.
I'm not even fucking interested.
So Sylvia, it's if that's what he says and that's what he means, the only reason I'd even peek in is the man has earned it. But I hold out no hope. That's why I tried to tell everybody, I'm like, what they did last year, it doesn't matter. I said it in my review. It doesn't matter if they bring David Tennant back. It doesn't matter if they bring William Hartnell back from the dead. The show is done. The damage is done. We've seen it. We can't unsee it. So if somebody comes out and goes, it's erased, doesn't matter. I've seen it. It's broken the spell. It's broken the spell, which is just bad. Hail Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek, MCU, soon to be Lord of the Rings, Babylon 5. So many franchises gone. Screw the movies and TV. I'm going back to books. Heinlein, Asimov, and Ellie is gay, by the way. Ellie is gay.
Shit, no way.
No way.
Really?
Narky Bint for $2. Thank you for the $10. Thank you. And yes, the future is in the past. There's a lot of comic books I haven't read. We're going to give Mahler some comics to read for the real BBC. I'm getting some Kirby stuff that I haven't read, like all of the Fourth World stuff. That's why I got some Jimmy Olsen, so I can read it. And I can't wait. I'm fucking looking forward to it. Now I'm like just digging into stuff I never got into before, and there's a lifetime's worth. And if something good comes out new, fantastic. Maybe Dune, which still has like freaking woke messaging in it. It's just it comes from the source material, and it's fine. I like the movie. Maybe Dune changes it. Maybe people see like, oh, it's not a heavy-handed movie. It's just a proper adaptation of a fucking book.
Well, they're all trying to give it the fucking white savior brand, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And maybe the studios wake up and say, we're pandering to the wrong people. Maybe they took a good look at Netflix that one day and said, this is who we're pandering to. It's a very small number of lunatics. But we'll just keep walking away in droves. And it's having an effect. Okay. It's having an effect.
Oh man, now that I know that Russell T Davies said that he stands by the Timeless Children, I don't even know if I'm watching this fucking show, man.
Yeah. I got to double check on the quote, but I would not doubt anybody in the chat. I never would. Kai Vickers Gaming for 449 says, actually, the episode was amazing. I don't think there was anything wrong with it. And that's cool. If you enjoyed it, good for you.
If you enjoyed it, more power to you.
Free Boredom. Hi, Gary. I emailed a short clip where I put you in Doctor Who, and I thought you might get a kick out of it. I appreciate all the work you and As do, and everyone on Friday Night Tights to defend our culture. Thank you, Free Boredom. I appreciate the $10. Cheers. Climate change is real, says Andrew Jones for £2. Never said it wasn't. Did I say climate change wasn't real?
You said the climate's always changing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just said the BBC's always talking about it.
Man's effect on the climate. Now,
the climate's always changing. Like how it changes, though, that's what's up for debate. And at least somebody in one of those specials said that. So, but there's that town in Wales that's protected by a seawall, which it's always been protected by a seawall. So the water should have been flooding out this town already. Okay. Shout out to Geeks and Gamers. I'm a total ally. But they introduced me to gaming so slowly I'm turning away from drink. Tonight though. Tonight as looks sexy. Tonight as looks sexy.
Okay. I got a black t-shirt on and a snapback.
Tonight as look okay. All right. I've got time for one more. And
do the shut the fuck up as.
Nah.
Two.
I'll save that one for the square. I'll save that one for the square. I got something for that. I save like the ones that people. I mean, if you want to pay me to ask questions about other, like I generally don't like talk about other YouTubers. It's not what people come to this channel for. I think the worst thing about drama is like people don't want to hear YouTubers complaining about other YouTubers. It also makes you focus on the channel. Nobody comes to this channel to hear me talk about nerdrotic shit. Like we're here to talk about Doctor Who or Star Trek.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear me talking about my fucking self all the time. I might give you a little anecdotal story once in a while, but Deaf Bloke for 274. You guys need cheering up for a couple of minutes. A band made a YouTube, so no issues on your part. The Merkins keep slaying teens in the dark. You'll love it because it's funny and very quick break. Were you running when you were Deaf Bloke? Sorry. And it's still Halloween. It is. But what's the name of that band? I'm out of time though. But I will tell you what, I'll play it on the nooner, Deaf Bloke. On the next nooner, I will play it. Okay. Normally I'm okay with some clips, but we got to get out of here because no, dude, we watched this. It sucks. This is the autopsy of Doctor Who. There's a lot of people who came around this channel. It helped build this channel, and it wasn't anything. I was not going to review this. I didn't want to see it. I was done with Doctor Who, but I did. We commiserated, and quite frankly, if you don't say anything, nothing happens. It's inexplicable. This got 3 seasons, but it didn't get 3 full seasons, and they can blame it all they want on the coof. But I'm not seeing any other shows greatly reduced. Did The Witcher season 2 have? Does it have less episodes?
I don't think so. They haven't announced that it's got less episodes.
Same amount of episodes. Yeah. I'm not hearing any of the Disney Plus shows reduced in episode count.
CW's been pumping.
Mm-hmm.
We know how good the CW is.
Yeah, the CW. Okay, is the CW Doctor Who was as bad as the CW? I would just say it's worse because of the damage they've done to a franchise. I mean, the CW just shits on characters that weren't. I mean, like Batwoman. Only existed to be a lesbian. That's the only reason that character is even there, is to be a lesbian.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
The Doctor was a role model to young boys and girls around the world for decades. And the girls liked the Doctor just the way he was, just like the boys liked the Doctor just the way he was. And they had some fantasy that they were going to have a bigger female audience. No, you just had a smaller audience. And what's the thing we're seeing the most when you pander, instead of like just making something, like if you want to make it diverse and inclusive, cool. When we've reached normality, when we don't fucking talk about it, when you have to point it out, you sound like a racist. You do. Like, look at all the black people I cast in my movie. I am such a good person. No, you sound kind of fucking weird. And I wouldn't like, I don't know. I have my kids around you, but
when you keep having to say, look how diverse and inclusive we're being, then you do have to question the validity.
It sounds like you go to like Bohemian Grove and like sacrifice things. That's what it sounds like. You're really trying to deflect. But apparently, Az and I are part of the alt-right wing of Doctor Who fans, lifelong alt-right Doctor Who fans and Star Trek fans too. If it wasn't for
Excellent.
that I love Star Trek except for that Kirk and Uhura kiss. So please plug your channel, my good man.
If you want to go check my stuff out at Heel versus Baby, well, it's at Heel versus Babyface on the Tube Review. So go do that. I'm going to put out my Doctor Who review tomorrow. So I got time to I might have to go back through it again tomorrow. And then I know. Because there was some stuff I was just like, I don't understand why these things are happening.
I didn't either.
Like, why did they just suddenly start chasing a dog?
Randomly, right? Yeah. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna do my review without watching it again. I'm just gonna fuck it. Shit. I'm not gonna watch
but
it.
I don't want to, but I do. I want to. I mean, I think I need to see. Is it me? You know, but it's just 1 minute they're in bed together, the next minute they're chasing a dog. She just randomly gets psychic fucking phone calls from some dude.
Well, the dog was the one that trapped him in the beginning, but you don't know that until later. You're like, oh, okay. So the one who was hanging him upside down was the fucking dog.
That was the dog.
It was the dog that hung him up. But yeah, you don't figure that out until like later on in the episode. And
what?
Like you could have shown, unless I missed a shot of the dog, you know, but you could have shown a shot of the dog. But like so many random things were happening for no fucking reason at all. And it was just it was a poorly written episode. Shit happened. Like things moved. At least we weren't being preached at about the fucking climate change.
But there was no preaching. I wouldn't say there was anything. Yeah, there was no preaching. Well, apart from when the doctor got to the dog and she said, right, you stay there. I got two things I need to say. I said, I would have just gone, so do I. Number one, shut the. Number two, fuck up.
Yep. Again, Jodie has no charisma, has no presence. And yeah, she just doesn't have it. You know?
I got two things to say to you. Fuck up. Fuck off. Who is this person who thinks they could just...
Thanks for joining me for this short.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. This will be hang on to the link if you just started watching it, and it will be re-uploaded on Nerdrotic Live a little bit later tonight. I'm off to Los Angeles to go see Danny Elfman.
Woo!
Yeah, it'll be a good time with the wife. Enjoy a little anniversary stuff, and be back with Doctor Who stuff next week. You and I will be back with the Real BBC on Tuesday.
Yeah,
on Tuesday, and my review is probably not going to be out till Tuesday because I'm doing something tonight. So, and then my wife's flying out to go look at that house.
Nice
stuff happened. Good stuff happening. So,
nice.
Thanks everyone for joining us, friends and frenemies out there. Thanks for the click.
Friends and frenemies.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and we will see you around.
Bye.
Cheers.